Hey, what's going on? Matthew Taman here. Listen, I have some very important information I'm going to share with you about your business. It will revolutionize the way that you do business. So make sure that you go somewhere quiet so you can be able to pay attention and grab something to write with. Notepad, iPad, tablet, whatever that you want to take notes with. Because the information that I share here with you, it is going to completely just change the way that you do business. So make sure you go somewhere that's really, really quiet. And today, I really want to go over something that I'm extremely passionate about. For those that have followed me for any number of time or a number of years, you're going to realize that this has been my message to businesses. If there is one message that I want to pass on when I'm doing training for CEOs, for companies, different sizes, it is this one message. No, it's not about sales. No, it's not about revenue. That's important. Sales is important. Revenue is important. Data is important. Graphs, analytics, all those things are very, very important in business. But the one thing, if I can pass down to any company, okay, it's this thing right here that it is missing in like 99.999% of companies. And here's this thing. It is called the human touch. This is one thing that is missing in companies from all over the world. The human touch. It is missing, and that really bothers me. That bothers me. What exactly is the human touch? It is your ability to relate to people. And what does that mean, relate? More so to your employees. This so is more so towards your employees. And it also connects with your customers. What is the human touch? The human touch is your ability as a company to recognize that the people that you have working for you are human beings. They have emotions. They cry. They get upset. They get happy. They have birthdays. They have kids. They have dramas going on in their lives. They got confusion. They have good things going on. Some people just deal with all a bunch of different things, but they are human. They're human beings. So as a company, how can you be aware of that at the same time understand how to deal with the employees? I've seen CEOs of companies that they have disrespected the employees at levels that I cannot even imagine. You know, I had the opportunity to, as I do my training with companies, I was part of this one company and I went there and I was very shocked, you know, because the language that they were using was appalling. I could not believe the language, the cussing. When I do so business with people, people know this about me. I'm a Christian. I'm unashamed of that. Now I don't go imposing that on people at all. But you don't cuss around me. You don't cuss at me, and I don't cuss around you, and I don't cuss at you. I don't cuss, period. So I've seen companies where the manager or the CEO just went off and F this, the F-bombs are flying all over, the this, and that, and they're demeaning and degrading the employees sometimes right in front of their clients. You never do that. You never degrade your employee under no circumstance. These are human beings. These are people that have what I call a feeling. They have feelings. They're not robots. They're not immune to crying. They're not immune to getting hurt. These are people that have feelings. They have feelings. And as I travel and I speak with these companies, oftentimes I realize that out of ignorance, the manager, the supervisor, the CEO, sometimes they have lost touch so much. They feel like they're on this high horse that everybody else is beneath them. So guess what? They got to talk to you like you're at the bottom of their feet. No, you don't do that to human beings. You don't do that to people. If there's one message in my career that I want people to get, it is this right here. I am extremely passionate about this. Because I believe that if you can treat your employees right, they are going to treat your customers right. Listen, your employees are a product of you. And I've seen it happen so many times that the manager or the supervisor has such a nasty attitude, and that get passed down to the employees, that the employees pass down to the customers. So now you have everybody's just nasty, negative, rude from the top all the way to the bottom. And that is unacceptable in business, unacceptable in my book. You have to treat people with humanity. I don't care how much revenue you're generating. I don't care if you make $25 billion per nanosecond. That does not give you the right to talk down to anyone. You know, when I go to places that got hard cases, I call them. I love dealing with them. You know, those high people that think that, you know, up in the horse. I know how to bring them down. When I mean bring them down to size them up to reality. Size them up to reality. So you want to have the human touch. You want to have the human touch. You're done with people. You're done with human beings. I don't care how much money you think you have, how many cars you have, how many homes you have, that doesn't matter. Because people are going to remember the way that you make them feel 5 years later, 10 years later, 20 years later. And guess what? Your reputation depends on that. Your reputation depends on how you make people feel. I've been to companies where when they mention the owner or the boss's name, everybody just cringe. They just don't like them. They can't stand them. They just don't want to be bothered with them. But hey, that's getting the bills paid. But guess what? It's just a matter of time before they leave and go somewhere else. You want to make sure that your employees are taken care of. You want to, I want you to try this exercise. If you are a manager or a CEO or you're in a position of authority and you have a few people that work under you, I want you to try this. I want you to just one day, if you pick one thing a week, every week, find one employee, even if it's somebody you just watch, you've seen them do something that you really appreciate, and just pull them over on the side like, hey, how you doing? Listen, I see you working hard every day. I really appreciate that. We appreciate what you're doing here. And thank you so much for your hard work. It's definitely appreciated so much. By the way, how's your family doing? So your birthday, I think, was it next week or next month, if I can remember correctly? Even if you don't know what that birthday is, you're going to spark something inside of them. You're going to get that juices flowing. They're going to be like, wow, the boss talked to me. The owner spoke to me. They're going to feel so elated. And from there, you want to develop relationships. Relationships are key to the success, to long-term success in business. Relationships. I can never stress that enough. I got 4 kids. I don't know where my kids are going to be 5 years from now, 20 years from now, 30 years from now. That's why I want to make sure that I am sowing. I really believe what the Bible says, you reap what you sow. If you're always nasty to people, if you're always degrading people, it may not come back to you per se, but I guarantee you, if you have kids, your kids are going to get it. The rewards of your negativity, your grandkids are going to get it. It is going to come back one way or another. So as I'm traveling the world and I'm talking to businesses, this is my passion. This is my passion. I just love people. And there are times when I was talking to some employees that I just want to cry with them because they're hurting so much, but their manager, their boss, don't see that there's a single parent that's struggling how to feed their family, struggling how to figure out their schedule, how to catch this bus to that bus. They don't see none of that. All they say is you work for this company, you got to generate revenue. That is all that they see. The human touch. The human touch. You're done with human beings. You got to love people. I know in business, love and business don't always equate sometimes, but you got to love people. You have to build relationships. That is my goal. And that's when I get the opportunity to talk to people. I just want to hug them. Sometimes people like look at me weird, like, we're in business. Why you want to give me a hug? I just genuinely just love people. And anytime that you're in business, you have to learn how to build effective relationships. Remember this, human touch. Try it in your business. It'll transform your business forever.